Okay, hi there. I have a special guest with me today. It's Danielle from Coach with Danielle, and I have Esen Konyi with me, who's been a client of mine for some time now. And I wanted to introduce Esen and talk a little bit about the work that we did together. Hi, Esen.
Hi, Danielle. Thank you for having me. Thanks a lot for introduction, and I'm very excited to share my journey with you and the great experience so far we had together, and ultimately the delivery of it.
Oh, thank you so much, Esen. There's a few things that we wanted to cover because we've worked together over a certain period of time, and we've worked on a few different things when
Yes.
it comes to your career. So, one of the things that I wanted to touch on is if you could talk a little bit about, how your life and career was before we started our work together, before we started coaching together.
Sure. So of course, I can do that. So I started working with Danielle when I was I would say, unfortunately, in a very vulnerable position, like a stage of my life. I had a very, I would say, painful experience in my personal life. I was going through a very difficult time, and having a conversation with Danielle, trying to uh, understand, I would say not understand, but to understand the experience of life in order to understand life and to prioritize things, and especially to, I believe, appreciate most important thing in life, being having this uh, not, I'm not going to say well-being, but maybe more to reprioritize things in life based on everything that could happen on more on the side, all of the negativity and all of the painful experiences, but just to refocus, yourself into the right path, and ensuring that everything that I was doing will be bringing me back this well-being and this happiness that I lost, because I was in a stage of my life where I fell a big time. And I do believe that talking to Danielle taught me that sometimes you have to lose to gain more. And yes, you learn through pain, you become more resilient, sorry. And I do believe even today that your brain get trained to pain, and yes, withstand to pain. And also it's where you become even stronger, and this resilience at one point in your life will even help you to go through other experience in life. You're not seeing things at the same pace or at the same site, I would say. I'm very someone, I was very passionate, very emotional, and all of the experience, all of these past years, what happened in my personal life and working with you, Danielle, was really to understand life better. And again, building this resilience that could help me not only in my personal life but also in my professional life.
Yes.
So it's when we started. It was at where I was the most vulnerable person you could
Aw.
have met. And I felt very my fall was big because I was at the top of my career at that time, like what
Yeah.
I consider myself as top of my career, like being a member of a Canadian leadership into like a company at I was only 36, so
Yeah. You
great
were a
career.
very senior executive where you were. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So, and then I started having obviously some issues, in my personal life, but also had had to go through, I guess, this milestone again to be in a better place. And Danielle, yes, you were with me and you walked me through and make me understand. Again, you didn't tell me. That's the thing I liked about the coaching part, because you don't say to people, you don't dictate to people what to think and what to do. You make them realize how to think, and how things, like new things or even old things, could impact the life of today. So that was a big learning, I would say, that I had at that time.
Very good. Thank you, Asen. And I'd love to hear a bit more about some recent developments then with your career
So
specifically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as a next step, So once I was, like I said, very not in a very good stage of my life, but with Danielle and the coaching, I was able to be back on my feet actually, and to regain this confidence, and regain, like, the love for the life, and going back to where I was mentally. Then I started looking for a job, and when I was looking for my job, it was hard because I have hard time to not having interviews. I would have interviews, but I couldn't go, like, to the next step. I don't know why. It was just like not happening, and I couldn't understand it. I thought I was good. I thought I was good, but obviously I wasn't, and something was missing. Yeah, and after, like, applying, it was also during the COVID time, and I know everyone was telling me it's COVID, but I knew that despite COVID, something was missing into it. So I had again the opportunity to have the coaching session with Danielle, and one thing she made me realize is, okay, Sam, have you checked what are your tools in order to find the right job? And I was sharing with her, here's what I was doing, like, work on my networking, and talking to friends who I know, like, who I pass my resume along, and all of the things. And she said to me, I remember, like, you're doing all of the good things, Isan, but what about LinkedIn? I said, yeah, LinkedIn, I have my profile, and it's where her experience, and I would say her impact into my job search was so, like, crucial and so important, in a sense that she helped me to understand the importance of LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
she
So
told
you
me about
were
this.
like you were on LinkedIn, but
I
you
was.
didn't have a fully developed profile
No,
and you weren't
I didn't.
leveraging
I
it. Yeah,
Exactly that. I didn't use it as my main tool.
right.
And when you look at the world today, the online, like, uh, network is the number one, is the, like, I would say, uh, the most important tool you can get across all, like, your needs. And knowing that I wasn't using it, and I just and the funny part, it's I was just, like, at about to complete a strategy course online. So I was like, oh my god, it's true, I just completed a certificate with one of the top business school in France, and I'm not even applying that. I should be applying, like, that strategy to myself through LinkedIn. So that was, like, I think, a big revelation to me, because it was like, yes, I could do better on LinkedIn. That could be me alive on the web, as simply as that.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It
didn't
reflects your professional persona,
exactly,
basically, right? And a
exactly,
way for people
exactly.
to find you and to learn more about you beyond, your resume and what they could see in an interview, right?
Exactly. I would say that before, like, having the session, your training session on LinkedIn, it was, I would consider that my LinkedIn profile was like a skeleton. You know what I mean?
Right.
But after I completed your course and made all of the changes, it's like I injected some blood into my skeleton in order to bring it to life, like mummies. But actually, it's that, because now my LinkedIn profile was alive, and before it was more skeletal. It was there. I'm not saying it was bad, it was good, but it wasn't alive. And yeah, I think that made a huge difference. So then I was more confident about, like, applying to jobs, and once again, even sharing my LinkedIn profile with, like, my the recruiters or the hiring managers. And not too long ago, I had a call from, I saw obviously a posting on LinkedIn, and I applied. And obviously, the recruiter looked at my profile, and he called me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, he called me, and we had a chat. Then after the chat I had with him over the phone, I saw that he once again went on LinkedIn and checked my profile again. So what does that mean? Number one, the great thing I've done after, like, completing Danielle's session, the LinkedIn session, I had subscribed to Premium. So I knew exactly who was checking my account. And, so I could control that as well. I could sense if there is an interest, from the recruiters or the hiring manager. And obviously, in this case, I knew he went back to check my profile. So I knew it was a kind of, hmm, okay, it was good for me because I didn't say much over the phone because he went and to look for more additional information. I wanted him to know based again on your course, Danielle.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm not surprised. Not even the next day, I think it was, he called me for an interview with a hiring manager and a second person of the company. So that went very well. And after that second meeting, I have noticed that someone from this company, but at international level,
Right.
checked my profile as well. It's an Italian brand, so the person who checked my profile is in Italy. So I understood very quickly that after my second interview, they shared my profile or my name with this person. So it shows interest. So you see, all of these, I would say, signs, or we can call it signs, or even it's facts, because obviously it's something that happened. But I think it did reinforce my confidence because knowing that the same team is looking at my LinkedIn profile each time I meet with them or I have interview with them, it shows interest. It shows like, they're looking at me even more. They cannot look at me for phone or maybe face to face because obviously when you're in Italy, or even if you're like in Morecambe or Mississauga, sometimes you forget to ask a question or relevant questions, or you want to know more about the person. And I think that's the beauty of LinkedIn. You provide the information you want them to know.
Yes.
And
Just like
your course,
a website, right? It's like a
exactly.
professional website in a way, right?
Yes. So that's why it's so important to ensure that this online ID of yours is done at the perfection, at the excellence level. And once again, this session that I did with you, Danielle, taught me how to do it, taught me how to put things into the right place. But most importantly, it's not like a kind of like a book and you have the methodology and you just do it. It just what I love about your class, it's in order to understand what was important to me. What do you want to convey through your LinkedIn profile? Which brings back to the primary goal. What do you want? What type of job do you want? And where do you want to land? And all of these questions, you know what I mean? I needed an answer before even to update my LinkedIn profile. And that's why I really loved about that class because it went a bit, it's not a bit, it went a lot more deeper into the sense and the objective of LinkedIn, which is, directly linked back to your primary objective. What do you want in life? What are you looking like, what type of job? Because all of this will have like, obviously an impact on how you want to be seen by others. So yeah, that was a big turning point for me and in my job search. This session of yours, Danielle, with LinkedIn and how to update it. And obviously it worked out because the third, I would say, major milestone throughout the process with you was getting an offer from the same company.
Nice.
And yes, that was very obviously rewarding and being wanted during like pandemic, like pandemic, like a situation. And I got an offer and I did a counter offer obviously, because something I have also to mention, because we did so much together that I'm sure I forgot a lot of great advices you gave me, Danielle, at that time. But
Thank
one of them I remember is you said to me, it's not because you don't have a job, it makes you worthless. You have to understand what do you worth. Like you do worth still the same thing, but you would worth even if you were in a position. And I think this type of uh, I would say observation or reaffirmation, it's very needed in order to be in a position to negotiate. I
you.
was not any longer in a position of needy, like I need a job, and I will take anything. No, I was in a position is I was in a position that I know what do I worth, and this is what I would ask.